In this video, I want to walk through some of the added functionality for the IT Operations Toolkit O5A Rev 2. In Rev 2, we've added a paste script option here in the right-hand corner. Now, what that allows you to do is enter in a command script and then execute that script on multiple devices. This could be anything with a command line that NetMiko will run with. Again, in the previous video you saw, there's over 240 or 260 devices supported by NetMiko. If you have problems with any of these devices, please, I would ask you to send an email in so I can take a look at it. But let me show you an example of some Cisco switches. So we're going to go ahead and put in our username and password for these 4 lab switches so I can demonstrate the power. So what I want to do is on these 4 lab switches, I want to take the unused interfaces and I want to configure them with a description saying that they're unused. And this is just an example, right? Think of anything that you wanted to configure across a bunch of different switches. So let me show you, I have a couple scripts here I've put together. So here's an example Cisco script. And in this script, we're just getting into config mode. We're going to go to the interface range. So interface is Fast Ethernet 10 through 18. We're going to add a description called unused interface. We're going to exit global configuration mode. Then we're going to run a show command to display the output, just to confirm that the command was taken. And then we're going to save the config to startup. So let's go ahead and copy this out. You're going to go into paste script, which I believe I already have that window open, don't I? Yes, I do. Again, you would just click here, paste script. We're going to do a control V to paste the script in. Then what we're going to do is we're going to highlight the devices we want to run this on. Well, actually, I'm sorry. Once you paste your script in, you press the OK button. And what you can see at top here is it's converted that script into a comma-separated format. So now you just highlight the devices you want to run the script on. Right-click, execute the custom command right here. It's going to give you a warning. It's going to say, do you want to enter all these config commands on these 4 switches? And we're going to say yes. Now, the thing to know with this tool is when you get into global configuration mode, there's a little bit of a delay. So I'm seeing around 30 some odd seconds to execute the commands across the set of switches here. Everything's done using threading, so I wouldn't anticipate it to be very much longer, even if you had a lot more devices. Let's give this thing a couple seconds here to run. All right, so almost done. There we go. So on 4 devices, it took about 43 seconds to execute. Still drastically faster than if you were to enter these commands in on your own. So let's scroll up to the top and take a look here. So on the first device here, it's executed all the commands. I'll have to clean up the formatting here on later releases. But as you can see, it has executed all those commands. First, it went into configuration mode, global config mode. Then it went into the interface range. Then it entered all the description commands, issued an end, and now it's showing you that it has effectively completed the config. And then it's copying the running config to the startup config. The next device, you can see all the same commands. Here's our verification. Here's our writing to startup config, and so on and so forth. So we've been able to effectively issue all those commands from that script on 4 devices in very short order. So now say we want to do the inverse. Say we were doing a change and we broke something and now we want to revert that change. Obviously, a interface description is not going to break anything, but just for an example. So here's the inverse of the script. Copy. So now we're going to go to paste script. We're going to paste our script in here. Control V. Now press OK. And you can see it's updated our commands at the top. Now we can right click. We're going to execute the custom commands. It's going to give us a warning saying it's going to issue these commands on these 4 switches. We're going to go ahead and press yes. And now we have to be patient. Again, probably it'll take us, 30, 40 seconds or so to run those commands. And again, this example is pretty basic, but imagine the power if you had to run several commands across several switches. It would be quite easier than having to log into each device and executing the commands. All right, it's almost done. There it is. So it took 44 seconds. And what we can see from the output here, now when we get to the top, is same thing, closing the global config mode, sends CompT to the device to do so, gets into the interface range, issues the no description command, and now you can see it's when we do the show interface description, it's showing us everything because it's removed that command, right? Now it's right in the config. So we've effectively reverted our change in 44 seconds, and we're good to go. So that's just a brief demonstration of how the paste script functionality works. On the next video, we'll be walking through some of the other new features of Rev 2. Thank you.